Hi, I'm PJ,
I'm Austin.
and we're here again this week to bring you some helpful tips on what to get the digital photographer in your life. We're going to take a look at some helpful accessories that you can purchase for the digital photographer this holiday season, ranging in a couple dollars to a couple $100, and the range and variance of how much they might need them to something that they might really need. So let's get started.
So one of the first things a digital photographer can never have enough of are memory cards, either SD cards or CF Express cards. There really is no going wrong with getting them some extra cards because, if they shoot a lot of photos, they're gonna need multiple cards. It's always good to have backups. It's always good to have spares in case you run out of storage on your shoot. So if you don't know what type of memory card they need, come on down to the store. If you just know their camera model, we'll be able to help you figure out which card they need specifically and get you on your way. It's a nice little stocking stuffer to add for that person in your life.
Cool. And then after they got the cards, they take the photos. They're going to need a way to put it onto their computer. And if they don't already have it, they might need a card reader. It's a lot easier than just plugging it into the camera, which is how most cameras come out of the box. They come with a cable, USB interface cable to plug into the computer to take your photos off that way. Those, as you probably know, with charging your iPhone or charging your Android or whatever, those can tend to fray and break over time. This is a little bit more reliable. It plugs right into your computer. You just pop the card, whether it's a CF card or a SD card. This actually takes a lot more than that too. This will be a good reader to take the photos off of. It'll be a little bit faster too. You just plug it in, take your photos off, pop the card out when you're done. A little bit less wear and tear on the camera as well because you're not constantly plugging the cable in and out. As we all know, we think we're pretty good at getting it in there, but sometimes we miss. So it's a good option to have, a good way to get your camera's photos off the camera and onto the computer.
Now, another little stocking stuffer that photographers can never have enough of are batteries. Depending on the camera, obviously there's specific batteries. Again, if you just know the camera they have, come on down to the store. We'll be able to help you pinpoint exactly which battery. We have batteries ranging in price from different manufacturers, and it's really another thing that you can never have too many of because the last thing you want is to be out on a shoot and all of a sudden you have no batteries and all of your other batteries are dead. So again, another thing that you can toss in a stocking and then that photographer can toss it right in their camera bag and get going.
And another stocking stuffer to keep on the trend as I knock things over that we offer that is not as much of essential but is a good thing to have in my opinion is this card wallet. It's a good thing to put in your SD cards. It keeps them safe, it keeps them out of harm's way, it keeps them free of dust, all that sort of thing. It's a good way to keep them organized as well. I know myself, I misplace the cards because they're very small. I'll misplace them quite often. If I know I just put them back in here, it's a lot harder to lose this. It's a little bit bigger. You can just throw it in your bag, throw it wherever really. It's rugged. It's going to take a hit, which is also another good thing about it. You're always in a rush if you're doing photography. Another great stocking stuffer to have if you're a photographer, to get your photographer friends, I should say, this holiday season. And I have to fix my mess.
Now, especially for the winter months, gloves are going to be a super nice to have for any photographer. These gloves have little pop-outs for the fingers so that you can adjust all your settings. They have touch finger points, so you can actually use a touchscreen with the gloves. They're super nice, super warm. It's another great thing to have, especially for someone who likes to go out and shoot in inclement weather, whether it be rain or snow or just in the cold in general. This will be another super nice to have for that photographer.
And if the photographer happens to be a landscape photographer, you might want to get them an L bracket. We actually did a whole video on these already. If you want to check on our YouTube videos about why someone might want an L bracket to go over all that, so I'm not going to bother going over all that here right now. But as a landscape photographer, this is something that'd prove invaluable for their photography. It makes it a lot easier to switch if you're shooting landscape or panos or pretty much portrait, landscape, stuff like that. It's a very useful tool. Check out our other video if you're curious about them, but it is a great present for the photographer that shoots landscapes in your life.
Now, if you know a photographer who shoots not just landscapes, but also portraits, an on-camera flash is always a nice to have. This is the Godox TT6852. It's just a nice on-camera strobe. It has high-speed sync. It's got a built-in battery. It's 2.4 gigahertz wireless. An on-camera flash is just a nice to have, whether it be wedding, whether it be kids, portraits, pets, any kind of portrait photography. Really, an on-camera flash or any kind of on-camera flash modifiers are going to be a really nice to have, and it'll be a nice kind of bigger surprise gift for a portrait photographer.
And again, back to the landscape photographers on my end. These filters that I knocked over earlier would be a great gift. These are your NDs and your CPL filters. Now, different than your UV/protection filters, these actually will impact what your photo looks like, which could be very important if you're doing landscape photography work. An ND filter is a great thing to use in landscapes if you want to extend your exposure time. It's like putting sunglasses onto your lens so that less light comes through. This one in particular is a variable ND, so you could actually change it as you are trying to figure out what exposure would be best. This tends to be very good for things like waterfalls, or if you want to blur some motion, like say you want to blur some trees that are blowing in the wind, or if you want to do a long exposure of some cars going by through like the foreground of your photo. This would be what you need. And then over here we have a CPL, which is circular polarizer filter. This filter would be good for your landscape photographer. Actually, it'd probably be good for most photographers, not just your landscape photographers, because this is going to do things like cut down on glare. So if you're doing portraits and that person might have glasses on, it's going to cut the glare on their glasses a good bit. And on top of that, it's going to improve your contrast and also make things like your skies and whatnot a lot richer and darker. So those are really good for those things, which is also why it's good for landscape photographers, because it increases that contrast. So those are two things, like I said, mostly for landscapes, but also could be for any photographer in your life.
Now, moving away from the realm of photography into someone who might shoot a bit of video or even primarily video, another nice to have is a little shotgun on-camera microphone. This is the VD mic from Godox. It just mounts right onto the hot shoe or cold shoe of a camera or camera cage. And it's just going to give you that boost of much better audio than from what you get just right out of your camera. Mounts right onto your camera, directional microphone. Really just a nice to have for anyone who wants to get into video, whether it be shooting music videos, wildlife videos, anything that you need a little bit better sound quality for. This is going to do a million times better than what on-camera audio does. So this is another little nice to have for a budding videographer.
And something to cover both the videographer and the photographer in your life could be a sensor cleaning kit. Knock that whole thing over. We have a few different options here in-house. They're both going to do exactly what you need if you want to try getting into your own sensor cleaning for your cameras. This kit from Delkin comes with everything you need, including a sensor scope, which is how you kind of can view the dust or dirt on your sensor and see what you need to get cleaned, as well as the fluid and the swabs, pretty much all, and a blower actually. It's a good way to get into it, as well as we also have kits if you already have some things like the viewer and the blower that are just the fluid and the swabs, so you can do your cleaning on your own. We also offer it in-house if you are uncomfortable doing it, because it is a little bit scary taking it and putting something onto your sensor of your multi-$1,000 camera. We do it in-house as well. But if you want to get into it yourself, we got the kits.
Now again, for anyone into videography, another must-have is going to be an on-camera monitor. This is the Portkeys PT5 that we carry in store. It's just going to be a nice high-resolution, larger screen that again comes with a bracket that can mount on the hot shoe or cold shoe of your camera or camera cage. It's got all sorts of different things. You can add histograms, focus peaking, zebras, waveforms, basically anything you want to nail exposure, nail focus, nail composition. It's got a lot of built-in features that maybe your DSLR or mirrorless camera isn't going to have for video, and it kind of expands that capability for you. It's a super nice to have and really great value for anyone who wants to get into videography. This is going to be another must-have.
It's also what we use on our camera to make sure everything's in focus and exposed right and in scene.
Yeah.
So I have another product here that would be good for any kind of person with a digital camera in your life. This is one of the newer products we carry now. It's the Wandered bag. This is a 6-liter bag that can be worn kind of like as a belt, a sling, carry it like that. It's great to hold all your stuff. It's pretty big for its small size. You could probably fit at least a camera with a lens and then 2 other lenses in there. As well as there's a little pouch in the back if you want to put a tablet. You got a little zipper on the top. We need a second camera for this one. This one's big. On the top up here that you could put your SD cards, extra batteries, all the other things you might want to get your digital photographer in your life. As well as a second zipper on the back here that is currently rubber band closed because this is a 4 model. As well, and a zipper on the front as well with more extra storage. It also has what I really love, because you don't really see this on a lot of shoulder sling waist bags, is a spot for your tripod right here. So if you have a small travel tripod that you're taking with you, it can hook on right to the front and take it with you, which I personally find a great feature on these small bags, because most small bags, like I said, don't have a way to carry your tripod. So when you're trying to be light and not carry a huge bag, you end up having to compensate by carrying your tripod in your hand, which kind of sucks.
Now, if you want to spend a little extra money and get something really nice for a videographer that you know, a gimbal is another really super nice to have for anyone who's doing on-the-go shooting, something where they're not going to be on a tripod, but you still want that nice, stabilized, level footage. This is the DJI RS3. It's a super strong, sturdy gimbal from DJI. And really, we have a couple different variations of gimbals in store here, but any gimbal is going to help with stabilizing the 3 axes, so up, down, left, right. On shooting video, it's going to help remove all that little micro shakes when you're hand holding a camera. So anyone who wants to do documentary filmmaking, even just run and gun shooting for filmmaking, this is going to be a really nice to have. You can still attach a microphone. You can even attach an on-camera monitor still, because of how strong and sturdy this gimbal is. It is a little pricey, but if you want to spend big on your videographer friend or person in your life, this would be a great option.
We have video on that as well if you would like to learn more. And then I believe our final product that we have is, all of it's going to fall over now. Yep. Is a tripod. Specifically, this is a new tripod we recently just got in from Benro. It's called the Cyan Bird. Got the blue accents, it's very pretty. It has quickly become a staff favorite here at the store. It's got a very interesting mix of a ball head and a tilt pan head, which is very cool. It has this whole handle here that can drop down right out of your way, or you could have it up so that you can pan back and forth, which is not loosened right now, so it's not going to really do much like that. So it's good for if you're doing landscapes, if you're doing video. It is a good all-around tripod, and on top of that, it's perfect for travel. Collapses up. It's very small. Can't break it down obviously right now. It is very small. It's very light, and it's very affordable. This is the carbon fiber one, and for a carbon fiber tripod, if you guys keep up with pricings on things that are carbon fiber, usually very expensive. This one's very, very reasonable for what it is. Everyone here at the store that works here has been tempted to buy one, probably at some point going to buy one, because like I said, it's very compact, very travel friendly. It can hold a lot of weight. I believe it can hold up to 10 pounds? So yeah, it can hold up to 10 pounds, which is crazy for a tripod that weighs 2 pounds. It's an amazing tripod. Come in, check it out. You'll be blown away. It's actually a great tripod to pair with the bag that I just showed you, because you won't even realize it's on the bags. It's so light. Yeah.
So that's been our little gift buying guide for the digital photographer in your life. Check out our other video if you know a film photographer that you want to get some gifts for. We already have that up on our YouTube page. Thank you again for stopping by and spending some time checking out what we have to offer for some holiday gift buying.
Yeah, and look in the next week. We're going to probably be doing a short video on last minute gifts that aren't necessarily accessories, just some last minute photography gifts. some, knickknacks and such and so forth. So keep an eye out for that one. Hopefully we can keep not knocking the ornaments off of the table like we did in the first one. But yeah, thank you for tuning in, and see you guys next time.